After awakening, this is the best thing you can do, is do feeling somatic based meditations that address the physical, more felt sensational experiences of being a localized, limited point of view. If you've recognized yourself as awake reality itself, remarkable existence, listening to itself, if you've seen that your self-referential ways of thinking about yourself have absolutely nothing to do with who you are, that whole thing happening, we call that a spiritual awakening. If that's happened, chances are it had a big feeling. It had fireworks. You felt expansive. You felt amazing. And maybe you feel like you've lost it or it's disappeared. And generally, that's because the feeling state in the body represents what it would be like to be a separate individual, long-lasting entity. In other words, in the background of experience, there's physical tension at all times, which makes us feel local as a separate entity, even if that's not true. It's what it seems like. It's a sense of center, a sense of locality. The way we address this is through feeling-based meditations. I'll also be clear here, you don't have to know what spirituality even is for this to be relevant, because this feeling of being localized in the body is also the core feeling of being cut off and estranged and always craving a certain type of intimacy that you can never quite reach. It's the reason that a given moment will not feel like enough. It won't taste like it's enough. It'll taste sour. It'll taste painful. There's this gnawing sensation that you're estranged. And after addressing these feelings with this meditation that I'm about to walk you through, that sense of center becomes much more transparent, and it becomes much more aligned with your deepest experience of who you are in a felt way. You don't have to do this. It's only if you're interested in doing the hard work of spiritual integration. This is completely optional, and most people go their entire lives with these dense pockets of feeling like they are local at a center point, and they die that way, and it's totally fine. And if you think about the experiences where there's a softening of the tension in the body and how much lateral thinking is available there, I made a list of these experiences. For example, effortless intimacy with friends or a lover, a dinner with lots of laughter, meeting a new friend, having a deep conversation, a great meditation session, listening to music, being immersed in nature, dancing, riding a bike, a flow state of work or working out. If you just think into these moments, which, by the way, are not only the best moments of life and what it's all about, but there's so much capacity for creation and lateral thinking. So this type of meditation that we're about to do opens that capacity in the mind and body throughout the day. This meditation is a modified, personalized version of Rupert Spira's pouring emptiness into the body meditation. It's based on the premise that to actually really get to our deepest feelings of estrangement, separation, and dissatisfaction, we have to completely let go of our identity. We have to be willing to show up not knowing who we are, consciously, being a sort of conscious mystery to ourselves right here, right now, in order for us to even have access to the deepest tensions in our body. And then using that completely transparent, flexible identity awareness to dissolve these tensions and to soften them. Make sure you're in a comfortable place where you won't be disturbed for 10 minutes, and gently let your eyes close. And start off with 3 nice deep breaths. And while we're doing this, just letting the energy and sensations in the body naturally show up, whatever's appearing to you. Let it naturally show up without any effort. And get a sense of the raw sensation of the body. I'm not talking about your thoughts about the body. In fact, the label, a body, is too much. Let your consciousness directly come into contact with the pulsing, flowing, energized sensation that you normally call the body. Maybe you feel the chair, you feel your breathing, feel your face, whatever is naturally arising. And while you're feeling into the body, while you're looking at these sensations, so to speak, take a moment to notice where you're looking at these sensations from. Notice that there's no clear location from which you're perceiving these feelings. And notice yourself as this unknown, awake, alive reality, which is somehow perceiving sensations from nowhere, no place. And for the sake of this meditation, we're going to call you consciousness. So when I say that word, just remember that I'm referring to the non-obvious place where you're looking at these sensations from, and the mysteriously formless you who is looking at them and feeling them. Let's start in the head. Notice any tension in the jaw and let it loosen a little bit, relaxing at its own pace. Often we keep a tension in the jaw, so let your attention gently rest on that sensation that you refer to when I say jaw. And what I'd like you to imagine is that this consciousness that is feeling this attention, that is feeling this jaw tension, is flowing into that sensation and relaxing it. almost like a refreshing blast of consciousness, evaporating the tension in the sensation. Feeling the sensation pulse in consciousness as the consciousness flows into it, fills up every corner, and fills it with its empty non-locality. And now let's move up to the eyes. Go ahead and relax the eyes, the eyebrow area. And as you let that sensation demonstrate its existence for you, you, consciousness, are flowing into that sensation, feeling it intimately, without effort. Letting that sensation melt like snow under your warm, refreshing, relaxed attention. And now we're going to move to the top of the head, where your brain would be. And just to get a pulse on that feeling that you can feel when I say the word top of the head. And like a refreshing, warm river, consciousness gently trickles into that sensation, encapsulating it, feeling its every corner, feeling the absence of anything there except for pulsating sensation. And now zoom out a little bit to the whole head, keeping that jaw and eyebrow area relaxed. Feeling like that non-local, conscious looking you are flowing and pulsing throughout the entire set, the entire constellation of sensations that you would call my head. Clearly feeling that you are not in the head, that there is nothing to the current experience of the head other than pulsating, transparent sensation, fully saturated with consciousness. With no clear boundary between it and everything else. Notice that the sensation of the head, where it ends and the empty consciousness starts, that there's no clear border. And that the intimate experience of my head is a pulsing river of your own consciousness. A pulsation and excitation of you. So with that, I'm going to bring you back to your chair. I'm going to invite you to open your eyes. That's where I'm going to stop this meditation. A few closing notes. I'd like you to notice, if you've done this with me, how does your head feel? If you did this and it's having a similar effect as it did on me and as it has on me, the sense of being here in the head will be very much softened and dissolved and opened. And what this allows is a much more clear sense of intimacy and immediacy with life. You can clearly feel yourself as life instead of as the mechanism of story and feeling that thought tells us we are. Let me know how it went. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.